I'm putting on a baloney back slab. We see so many of these for the fractured tib fib here. It could be trimalleolar, bimalleolar, whatever. The triage, you've checked your pain. Always check your fibular head when you're triaging an ankle, because the pressure of a bad eversion injury, you can fracture up the proximal fibula. So, now I have my tape measure. We're wanting to measure how much stocking neck we want, because we're wanting to go from behind the knee up to the tip of the toes. So 68 plus, you want 1.5 times for restriction width-wise, so that's that much, and that again. Planning for a flat.
How often do you get people saying that to you?
No, it's the panic after 10 weeks taking it off. Look at my legs, they'll say. And I say,
it's about now we say,
the smell of the
take your trousers off.
Encourage them to clean between their toes when you put a cast on. Sure would burst.
Can't stop quick enough. Oh, it's excellent that you can't get a car stop quick enough.
I could start up a clinic in the fracture clinic. I'll do your waxing while they're getting the next part. Oh no.
How long would you enjoy that job?
You'll just say you're not getting past there.
Yeah, no. No cast, go on. Wax on, wax off. Just a little square then.
That's a square, and they cut it on an angle, and we put that there and that there. It's the lateral and medial malleolus padding. I'll measure up that Where's your little sole? Which one's sore?
My mid toe.
Have you done what?
You can't see anything. It's
So am I going to cause grief tonight?
Just do it.
Give me the other leg.
I initially kicked the door, and then it came right, but we'd be feeding all outside, and I was sticking things in it.
You've been very bare feet outside lately, are you?
On the tramp, because the last day of the recce road is a lot of cobblestones, and
Is it you tramping?
it's aggravated since then.
You don't plaster past the fibular head, so you feel for your fibular head. It's got 3 markers here, 3 fingers below your patella. If you want to, don't plaster past there. The fibular head, don't go over that unless you've got a fracture of your proximal fib, or else 3 fingers below the bend of the knee, because you want to be able to bend your knee up once you've got the cast on. So if you go up too high, they're not going to be able to bend it up, and they're back at clinic. Can't bend my knee. So your padding will go up over the fibular head, up to about the patella, base the patella, twice round again. And the donk head as such is there so that you can get in behind the leg to plaster. So twice round the top, twice round the bottom, and coverage should be 50% coverage around the, not going for around the foot, because if you look at where I've done that, I've got 50% coverage here. When I look at there, I haven't got the complete coverage around the foot. It's not well padded, because that's where a lot of your pressure goes on. So coming around here, and if it's grossly swollen, I'll give them another round of padding. But just make sure you get round that heel nicely, and this foot, you want it, if this is undisplaced fracture and there's not a lot of swelling, you're wanting to get that foot up to as near to right angles as you can. If it's badly swollen, and you might settle for about that position. You don't want to have them heading out the door in Aquinas, okay, because it's not comfortable. So you're wanting to have that in that position, and it usually ends up not enough with one roll, so you finish off with a bit of another. And I don't cut ends, it sits better if you break it. And then beyond, just covering up twice round the top of the toes here. that should be nicely covered and that's in the position. And if you've got someone to help you, they'll be holding that like that for you to get that good position there. So you want to measure now to the back slab. From the base of the toe, around the heel, up to your 3 fingers from the join there, so that's to there. So we've got 65. So you want 65 in length. You've got to think about the width now. If I put a 15 on there, 15 is not going to cover it. So we want a 20, which will take us to there. So we want a 20 at 65. So that's your back slab measurement. You want it double. 65 double. Flatter if you cut it. Now, most people's feet have got some shape to them, so you don't want to go over the little toe. So that's down there, the back of her big toe is up here, so you've got to slope your foot and shape your cast. So you want to come down the little toe over to the big toe and then down. So you've gone 2/3 more or less up that way and 1/3 down there, and that will then fit in there around the heel and up the leg. And heels, you need to have them shaped around the heel as well. So what I usually do is just measure, use my finger there to there, there to there, and that's where I cut my corners. Elbow and foot, you want to cut them so that you box the corner when it goes on, like that, and it sits comfortably inside their foot. If you just had a straight edge, you get buckles like this, and they dig in. So that's why your elbow and your ankle, you should cut in so that you can shape it around your foot like that. And if you only put that piece on, all you've got holding that supporting up is that wee hinge there, so you know you're going to need stirrup pieces to go around the leg. We wanted 68, was it?
65.
65, thank you people. Add on another 10, you don't need to measure, just add on another 10 to 75, and that'll give you a stirrup. You don't need to.
What do you think going with stirrups?
Stirrups or reinforcements, whatever you want to call them.
You know, I've never, in all my years of planting, I've never thought of that until you've put that in my mind, and
Now that's the end of it.
thanks, I'm going to think of that every time.
What's that?
She called it,
Please say
she said, oh, when you're talking about stirrups, think gynae, or don't think gynae. And I never have until now. Oh, well.
Don't forget your stirrup.
Oh, reinforcement.
Out and about.
So the stirrups are double 2, Lindsay.
Pardon?
The stirrups are double 2.
No, just single. So just have your coats ready to
I call
roll.
those stirrups. Yeah, I call them.
Yeah.
Trust her.
Good girl, you lived.
Well, you go away from here today learning one thing, I'll achieve 10 things learned. If you're doing this on your own, I find don't take, don't let a lot of water out, don't squeeze a lot of water out. So just hold that there, let it fall on your hand, and then just hold it there for a minute till all the water absorbs into the POP rather than squeeze it all out. And then it'll stick on better to the leg if you're on your own. Just rest that on the bottom there. Get that piece in there behind the toe. I've seen casts go about there, and come to us and you've got all this much movement in the foot, so you don't want that. You want this right up behind the toe. And this piece here, feel for the little toe so you don't go over that because that gets painful for them. You often have to come back and get it trimmed, especially when they've gone to the ward and a back slab.
I was going to say I should have been taking notes.
So that's that piece up there like that, and this piece comes up here. And just lean into it. Hold one hand there and then just start sweeping this on. I mean, you can always grab somebody to help you if you can, but sometimes you're too, the department's too busy and you haven't got time to help you. But this is probably easier for me to do it because you're further down the track. But that there should stay on, and you're keeping that foot at 90 degrees. Thinking if I cut it up too high, getting your 2 fingers, that could be a wee bit high on that side. Down a bit. And that's that piece.
What an obliging patient, isn't you?
Oh, she's talking about a trinomial or a binomial.
What have I done?
Tip or tip for.
I see you say an obliging patient, not letting the leg, keeping her leg up.
So you want to overlap this 50% over there. Your cast that's already there, more or less. A minimum is like a 5-6 centimetre gap around the ankle where the fracture is, because that's where most of the swelling is. And this piece here, don't come over like that with it. You can see that. Just have that go straight up the leg.
Sorry, I missed that because we were talking, which is really
This
naughty.
piece?
So no, the overlap is how much to the to your back?
You should be about 50%,
Okay.
so that gives it that strength it needs then.
And that one's the same length as the first one, so
Yes.
from the
10
end.
centimetres
Just
long.
cut the 10 centimetres on. So whatever your measurement was from here to here,
Yeah.
65, just make these 65, save you having to
And
measure.
those ones are single.
This is just the 4 layer
Yeah.
rather than the 8.
And so when you start medially and come around laterally, it's slightly shorter on the lateral side? Yeah, okay, yeah.
They should
So good.
more or less be the same length, because you've cut them both. Is that what you're meaning?
No,
Oh.
just that they start high and then come round on the second side slightly lower.
This one?
Yes, yep.
So your bulk is over your ankle.
Yes.
So you've got all the reinforcement here,
Yes.
so that's why you only need 1 layer.
Yeah.
Because you've
You've
got
got
8
it.
layers there now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can just peel the toe back and take it right back to that base of that little toe there. But it's up behind the foot, giving that good reinforcement there. And this one, bring it down. Don't ram it right down onto the start of the plaster, just leave it so it's got a nice, wee soft edge there for them when they're bending their leg. This is when you'll know that you've got, whether you've got 3 fingers there. 3 fingers below the patella, or fibula head, whichever measurement you use. But when you bend that knee, they're not going to cut in the back. There's a board in a fracture clinic, if you're not fussed on the old guy who's there having a thrill about getting his foot in your chest. If you're doing it this way. And you just crease twice over at the top and coming down.
You'll need to do that face for it.
Get a box. Get a box, Mary.
There are boxes if you're needing to. Oh, do you mean she's got?
No,
You'd be best to get
board up here.
Yeah.
best to get someone to come and help you.
Just put your foot on my face.
Your work is beautiful. It's amazing watching somebody like you. Yeah.
And if you feel tension on that side there, just give it a snip. Same with when you're doing plastering around the foot. Wherever you feel there's a bit of tension, just give it a reset again.
So comfortable.
Best back so far.
Apart from the fibres.
Work that.
She's a very hot patient.
Don't make me pretend I've got dementia.
Well, if you had dementia, I'd probably be putting it in above knee, because you would walk on it.
Now, when are you going to get that pasta wet?
There we are.
Tonight.
Go for a show.
So, you've got your right ankle. Toes are free, little toes not got any pressure on it. If you just want to reinforce that, get your finger in there and just pull it away from that little toe as well, and that makes it more comfortable for them. And checking that your 3 finger widths below the patella, or down here, so that knee will be in. Most of these ones are going to be off to the ward. Have to put these ones in, because they're badly munted and they're off to go pinning and plating or something. So that's your below knee POP for a fractured ankle in this zone area here. Tib and fib are involved, tri-bimalleolar, whatever. Sometimes you'll put one of these on for a fibula, just a fibula only. You won't go above knee even if it's in this zone here, but I kind of sweep up there a wee bit more for them to give a bit more coverage over there if it's a fibula.
If it's a fibula, is it generally just for pain relief as opposed
Comfort,
to...
yeah. Sometimes they might even go into a cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about 4th or 5th metatarsals?
If you're fractured there, then it's like your gutter slab. The whole cast moves down, start it here and finish it, and you've just got all the tips of the toes showing.
Okay.
So you can just have the
What I do, so that the toes don't get a bit crushed, is we've got the cotton stocking net, which is a wee bit thicker than that. And you just swiggle this through the toes. Just stops compression of the toes. Just put that around them and around, I can't quite get it in there, around the big little toe
I
there.
think I've got much of a little toe.
I put that on there when I'm putting the cast on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your cast will just stocking net down to here, padding beyond here, and then your back slab, if it's a back slab, it'll be the same,
Lower.
except it'll be from here to the toes.
Yeah.
Shaping it again, and then your stirrup pieces. And if it's POP, then you would turn the rolls and you would put a reinforcement piece up to here and along here. So it's the same as if you're doing a POP, a full POP cast now on an ankle where there's not a lot of swelling or anything, they just want a full leg. You do your first roll of plastering, you put a reinforcement piece, and it just comes up 10 centimetres below the, so you cut it for the corners here and shape it for the foot. That would go on your first layer, that reinforcement piece, and then you fold your ends back and put your second layer of POP on. Is that clear as mud?
So you don't need to worry about a gutter piece of plastic, just
No, you wouldn't be doing a gutter, that's only for
the back slab does that.
yeah, the back slab is just for the metatarsal fractures, often something's crush injury or something like that they've done.
With the below knee POP, the full below knee, you would put one layer of plaster on and then just a reinforcement of the foot,
Yeah.
and then a second layer of plaster for the rest of the plaster.
I put a piece. Of course, I wouldn't measure it.
Yeah. But it doesn't need to be a full up to the back.
No.
Okay.
I just put a piece from here, 10 centimetres beyond
Cool.
there. So I'll just show you. 31 centimetres,
And it's just a single layer.
single layer.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of reinforcement.
When you do.
Show you again. And measure from there to there, so that's one hand width. Across there. So if it's you put on all your rolls of POP.
Yep.
From here to here.
Yep.
This piece you're wet. Slap that on.
Yep.
Turn your ends back and then put the second layer
okay.
on.
Cool.
So Lindsay, if you had somebody come back to ED and they said, I've been
walked on a pastoral excellent and I've got a couple of cracks and I've got fracture in a couple of days. Could you do that to the bottom of the cast, just to reinforce it so that you don't have to put a whole new one on?
What I would do is go and get a roll of fiberglass.
And just put a
okay.
layer of
Just
fiberglass.
Just fiberglass from here to here.
Yeah. So if they say I've got 2 days and I've got fracture
Yeah.
anyway.
And so if the integrity looks fairly much intact, it's just a couple of cracks and
Yeah.
the
As long as they haven't got, if their ankle, if they've got the fracture here and they've got no movement in the actual ankle
you just
inside
reinforce
it,
the bottom.
then just reinforce with another roll of POP
Yeah.
or a roll of fiberglass. This possibly wouldn't be quite strong enough because it might be cracked sort of right around it.
And tell them not to walk on it.
Yeah.
It's like having a hot